This project is a collaboration amongst the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, UCCS, Nourish Colorado, formerly known as Live Well Colorado, and the Rocky Mountain Farmers Union. Through a series of 3 films, Farm to Early Care and K-12, hospitals and universities, we would like to take you on a journey around Colorado as we share success stories from institutions, farmers, and food systems change agents. This film should be viewed as a tool for you to share with your food service team, the institution's leadership, and community partners to demonstrate what is possible when institutions transition to making local food procurement the norm. We invite institutions and local partners to participate in re-establishing strong Colorado-based food value chains, recognizing that the food on our plate is the reflection of where we live. Colorado! This film is available at our UCCS website and YouTube channel playlist and can be packaged with various fact sheets, recipes, and resources to help food service teams make the transition to local food procurement in Colorado.
And really looked at how do we shift systems to increase access to healthy eating opportunities and active living opportunities, and particularly in low-income communities and for people of color across the state of Colorado. And then within that, we specifically focus on food systems work. So within food systems, we actually have an organizational goal to help build a sustainable, equitable, and health-promoting food environment across the state of Colorado.
Institutions is something that a lot of us have been looking at very closely with the hopes that this could be the market segment that really tips the scales and makes local food more viable for small-scale family farms. Because with an institution, there's this idea and this hope that you could take some of the guesswork out of farming and work with the institutions to plan, possibly forward contract a certain amount of products, and grow larger quantities of things.
And then on a more macro level, to create a local food system, we are working on that transportation piece that is working to aggregate and distribute the food in our food shed to our retail outlets, our restaurants, our schools, and to our families. And we have a 38-acre farm incubator, the Rio Grande Farm Park, where we are giving access to land to folks who want to grow food, want to have that experience, but don't have the land access. And we have a large presence of kind of farm workers who are now actually having their own businesses, and it's really been a beautiful project. And then we teach people to cook through a Cooking Matters program, so it's educating people how to cook healthy on a budget and how to use whole foods, because that's a little bit of a lost art in our culture today.
So it's a really beautiful corn, a native corn that's adapted to place. I always tell people my corn dances because you'll notice the leaves are sort of twirling around rather than laying flat like hybrid corn or GMO corn, and that's because high altitude, 8,000 feet, in order to avoid UV damage, a corn's adapted. You know, we have like a 3-month, 120-day at most growing season, and so our corn matures in about 74, 80 days. And what you'll notice about our corn plants, you know, Monsanto 8-10 feet tall, ours 3 to 4 feet tall. The corn cob will be half the size of the stalk. And that's another sign of how this is a native land race that's been adapted to the conditions of high altitude, cold desert environment.
Colorado is an agricultural state that produces a wide variety of high-quality and nutrient-dense foods, but the vast majority of these products are exported. Meanwhile, students and patients many of whom are our most vulnerable citizens, are consuming food shipped in from great distances. These films aim to assist in connecting family farms and institutional buyers, refreshing food service jobs, and promoting food and farm literacy in institutions. Research and many success stories across the country demonstrate that robust institutional purchasing of local farm products has the potential to transform people's health and the health of family farms and agricultural resources, and to protect nature. It is Sunday morning and I'm walking through the field. It is the 8th of August, 2035. Yes, I am old now, but fulfilled. If I passed today, I would know things will be good for the next generation. There's an undertone of deep, deep content. The work was worth it. The many years of hard negotiation and troubleshooting meant that the change was needed. Thinking back, it quickly becomes clear in my mind that we only had a few more chances to talk clearly and loudly. And there were many meetings to brainstorm and endless moments of creativity to link farm to market and people to food, expanding beyond all of the boundaries I thought I wanted to hold. But today, on this Sunday morning, I walk through the fields of plenty. Young farmers harvested this field of beets and carrots just yesterday. Many of them were from schools enrolled in various courses aimed at retraining and reskilling young people in local food systems. The trucks went quickly to the region's food hub, making an important contribution of people's diets in Colorado. We made it! Local food is a term of the past. Bioregional is in. All in all, the local diet is revitalized. Just like the Greek word dieta was meant in the first place, lifestyles are restored. Schools, hospitals, and senior homes have access to healthy, freshly picked seasonal food from Colorado's farms, and the story attached to the origin, family, and tradition. Schools have extended their lunch hour, now integrating the food and farm curriculum into what's being served to eat and share. All schools have gardens, and math teachers share this outdoor learning laboratory with science, PE, and art teachers. All schools have to purchase at least 45% local, just like many European countries mandate. Farmers' markets are fewer, but bustle with farm stands, farmers, and apprentices. School children get their food literacy training here, while parents connect with each other, planning out the week of food as much as taking their kids to soccer practice. Community-supported agriculture, CSA, has evolved into buying clubs with today's ordering technology, leveraging pickup at central locations or in neighborhoods. Thus, people are voting with their fork as food citizens, supporting rather than threatening the local agricultural landscape with its people. Chefs, bakers, and brewers all get their food direct from the farm. In fact, the local food economy has won. Grocery stores buy direct. Regenerative agriculture is now the norm, and students learn from both the theory in the classroom and working together with the farmers in regional food systems curricula starting in kindergarten. Therefore, this and future generations of farmers grow drought-tolerant crops suited to the region, adapted to climate change and the cultural assets of the place. Agrochemicals are used sparsely, if at all. Animals are back on farms, raised humanely and without antibiotics. And farmers rotate their crops, conserve water, and are contributing not to the loss of biodiversity, but to its return. There is sacredness around the dinner table. Animals are humanely raised, and their meat is offered in small amounts, moved away from the center of the plate. Plant-based and plant-forward strategies have finally become the norm. Food culture has returned, obesity and diabetes rates are dropping. The cities have instated the policy that food must be grown if water is used for gardens. Family and community gardens are sprouting. allowing for lively collaboration from seat to plate. Children have moved beyond selling lemonade on Sundays. Today they grow food because their parents know that this develops among taste for fresh spinach leaves, also the ability to value good food and its beauty, and what it takes to produce it and where to find it. Transition towns are old news. Today it's all about a moral obligation toward the planet and its people. Agriculture's impact on climate change has been reduced by 50%. CO2 levels are falling and Mother Earth is recovering. Every child along the Front Range knows how to make corn tortillas from scratch. Every person knows why the extra mile and hour is necessary when preparing food with fresh, seasonal, whole, and local ingredients. From farm to table, the seeds, the soil, and the food, and how it is transported and handled, contribute to the community's well-being. Colorado finally keeps 50% of its food production in the state, providing direct support to those who grow it and eat it. There's a collaboration among growers and eaters through local governments, nonprofit organizations, and institutions, providing networking platforms so farmers are informed and contracted what to grow. And state governments arrange to fund preservation of irrigated cultural and agricultural land and other innovation in the agricultural sector. Colorado has regained its food sovereignty, anchored by its watersheds and the buying power of its regional food citizens. As I sit and watch the water flowing through the furrows, tears roll down my cheek. I never thought that farm and food would be such a transformational vehicle to the restoration and preservation of its land, its people, and the community. But it can, and it needs advocates in the community like you to make this dream a reality. Contact your local representatives and leaders in the institutions you frequent. Ask for this important change today. We hope we have inspired you to join us as we reshape the landscapes of institutional food.